Hi folks, welcome back to the shop. This is Iron Horse Machinery. Today we have another little project for the Ford Smith tool and cutter grinder. Now we're at the end of the machine where the wheels mount to. This is one of the wheels that mounts to it. This is one of these green stones that you can use for carbide. And the way it mounts on there, there's a flat plate with a little hub and 4 mounting holes that mount through these holes here. So it sits on there, that registers on this hub, so that keeps it perfectly concentric. And then there's 4 screws that mount into or hold it on to that faceplate. Now the issue here is that these the tapped holes here for to mount it are 1/4 but the holes in this back plate here, for whatever reason, are 400 thou or 403 thou diameter. So I need to make some little bushings that will go in there to take up that space, so that when I mount this on there, there's no ability for it to rotate in this direction. It's held concentric by the hub that fits perfectly into this hole here. But if those screws have play in them, then this stone can, in principle, move around. I mean, you could tighten it up enough, presumably that friction would hold it, but I don't like the idea of it being free to rotate a little bit. So I've drawn up some plans for little bushings, and I'll show you those right now. All right, so as usual, I've made myself a little drawing. Here's the wheel that you can see over here with those mounting holes. So what I need is little bushings like this that will fit into those holes, be wide enough to be larger than the holes on the back, and just slightly slip fit to go into those holes, with a through hole for a 1/4 cap screw, which is what holds it on. So that's my drawing, and we'll use some 1/2" stock, and we'll go over to the lathe and knock these out. All right, here we are at the lathe. I thought I had some 1/2" cold rolled, but if I do, I can't find it. So I've got a piece of 5/8 hot rolled round bar. It's kind of rusty. It's been sitting around for a long time, but that's fine. We'll just turn it down. I have a CNMG insert in the lathe I've already touched off. So we'll go ahead and turn the outside diameter down to about 1/2 inch. It's not a critical dimension. And then we'll drill the center hole, a 1/4 inch hole in the center, and then we'll start turning down the small diameter that goes into the hole, and then the larger diameter is the 1/2 inch diameter. Then we just part off our little pieces, and we'll do 4 of those. So here we go. So I've got the chuck in, I've got a little center drill in there. We'll make a little mark at the end with the center drill, then we'll put the 1/4 inch drill in and go ahead and drill a hole. We'll go in about 1.5" or so. We got 4 parts, they're 1/4 inch wide each, but of course there's going to be waste from the parting, so we need about 1.5" or a little bit more. we're set up to make the little rings. I already made one actually. Then I forgot to turn the camera on, and then I went in for lunch. Got sidetracked watching Olympic hockey. Canadian men, of course, won this morning. I just watched the tail end of the USA game, so now we got Canada and the US in the gold medal game on Sunday. Looking forward to that. Canada will win, I'm sure. Canadian women yesterday played fantastically against the US. Unfortunately, just at the last minute in overtime, the US won, but man, what a great game. It was fantastic. Anyway, enough hockey. So I've already got this all set up. What I have here is a parting tool in the lathe. I'm going to do all of it with the parting tool. It's very convenient because the parting tool width is 125, which is the width of that step I need to make. So when I part one off, I just step over 125, plunge in to my 400 diameter, and I can read that off the dial, which I have zeroed. Then I back that out, go over another 125, part it off, and I'm done. And to do that, since I don't have a DRO on the lathe, I have a magnetic base indicator here. I have it zeroed. I've just parted that tool off, so now I go over 125, plunge, pull it out over 125, and part off. So it should be quick and easy. Let's get to it. All right, 125. I'll lock that. Zeroed, but obviously I don't. We're at 411, so 11 down to take off. There we are, 399. I'll call that good enough. So now we go over another 125. And of course I ran out of travel on my indicator, so we'll have to do that again. Alrighty, so we'll just keep on going. We'll knock 4 of those out, and I'll meet you back over at the bench. Alright, we're back over at the bench. Here's all my little parts. I got a little piece of granite tile that I use for this kind of thing. It's not like a surface plate, but it's plenty flat enough to deburr things. So they got a little burr where it was parted off. They got a little burr at the front where it was parted off. So we'll just use this to give them a little rub. Alrighty, there they are. There's our little parts. Remember our drawing, so there they are. They look approximately like our drawing did. There's a little bit of a burr, looks like, on that, but we'll see how they fit. Oh yeah, that fits perfect. And just a slight bit of clearance in there. Just what we wanted. All right, so I'll get you set up over here and we'll mount the stone and see how that works. Okay, so we'll get the stone on there, line up the hole. There. One of our little bushings. Put in the Allen head cap screw and move over this way, because I'm hopelessly right-handed. Perfect. Of course. Click. All right, there we have it. Our stone mounted in there. I will we just have the little guard that goes back on there. Put that on. And then we're ready for the table. And once we get that mounted, we'll come back and have a look at that. So that was a good little project. This is now mounted nice and securely. I like that. It's got no ability to wiggle on there, which is just what I wanted. So another successful project. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.